Hello, my name is Connor and I am a YouTuber of the sorts. I have a YouTube channel with a little over 1,000 subscribers and I do a YouTube series based on the Xbox Game Pass called Pass or Play, where I take one Xbox Game Pass title a week, feature it in a video, and I also come to a verdict on if that game is worth a play or just a hard pass. Now this channel here is a channel that I've wanted to do for quite some time. It's called Generally Speaking, and it's a place where I just, want to talk about life things. All things life. It could be the good, the bad, and the ugly parts of life. I'll be talking about movies, video games, probably music, and really anything that goes on in life. Now first of all, I thought this would be a good place to open up a little bit more and talk about my mental health, depression, and a little of the things I've been through in life. Now, throughout my life, I've suffered with depression and mental health for as long as I can remember. I was bullied in school. I don't really want to go into too much detail on that, but yeah, I was overweight. And I was picked on for being overweight, and that sort of stuff mentally scars you, and that's been with me ever since leaving school. The main thing I want to talk about here is loss. Back in 2015, towards the end of 2015, my mum was diagnosed with lung cancer. And she had a lengthy battle with cancer that lasted up until January 2017, which is when we lost her. But throughout her whole battle with cancer, she was on various different medications. She was on an experimental chemotherapy drug, which worked for a little while and eventually stopped working. And that's when she started to deteriorate and get worse. Now, watching someone fade away and eventually not realize who you are is one of the most hardest things I think anyone could really go through. Just to sit there and try and comfort that person and them look at you and not realize who you are is really hard. And that's how it got towards the end. And that is something that changes you, and it can change you for the better and it can change you for the worse. I am quite lucky that it really put things into perspective for me and changed the person who I was. Before I lost my mum, I was just wasting my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go in life. And shortly after losing my mum, I started my first YouTube channel. It had always been a dream of mine to start a YouTube channel, but I never had the confidence to do it. So eventually I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to have fun with it. My first YouTube channel was comedy orientated. Probably wasn't that funny. I don't have that channel anymore, unfortunately. I deleted all the content on it as I got tired of doing comedy because it wasn't really something that I wanted to do. It was just something I started doing because I thought it was funny. And I eventually in 2020 started my Xbox YouTube channel towards the end of 2020. And that's when I did my first YouTube video on Avengers, which is a game that has a very, very, very rocky backstory, but I won't go into that too much. And that's where it started. I just wanted to make videos and talk about things that I did like about certain games and things that I don't like about certain games. And that's when I also started my Pass or Play series. That was back in August of 2020, and those first few Pass or Play episodes weren't really anything special. They weren't really well thought out. I didn't really script them too much, and you could probably see for yourself. The links for that will be in the description below. They're not the greatest. Parcel Play also had a different name back then. It was quite a lengthy name that wasn't thought out either. And eventually I changed that name and it became Parcel Play, as that really rolls off the tongue a little bit more. But before I did all of that, in 2019, I and my friend, we used to go on Twitch and look for people. We'd lightly troll them. I'm not proud of it. It's stupid. It was immature. But that was shortly after losing my mum. I realised now that it was dumb. And through trolling people lightly on Twitch, led me to find a Twitch streamer called JulesFam. And JulesFam has become one of my close friends. I talked to her on her Discord server. And I also found friends through her Discord server that I have become really close friends with. And these people in this server really changed me, really improved the person who I am. And without them, I'm not sure if I could have done that. I'm not sure if I could have become a better person. You all know who you are, and I really appreciate all that you've done for me. You've inspired me to do things. One of the reasons I started my Xbox channel was because a really close friend of mine in that server, Smoothie, he's a mod on my YouTube channel. You'll probably see him pop up in the premiere episodes of Parcel Play, just chatting. And Smoothie is one of the people that helped sort of forge me into the person I am now. And I really appreciate that. Thank you, Smoothie. You have been an amazing person, an amazing part of my life. And even before that, I have a friend called Martin, and throughout the whole cancer thing with my mother, Martin was there for me when I needed him the most. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit teared up right now. But yeah, Martin was there when I needed him the most. He'd get me out of the house. He'd take me out to the cinema. I remember going to see the movie Grimsby. It's a long story, which I might tell at a later date. But we went to see that movie. I remember the one elephant scene. And me and him were the only ones in the cinema that burst out laughing at that scene. That probably can tell you my sick and twisted sense of humour. But yeah, we both laughed at the elephant scene from Grimsby. If you've seen that movie, you all know what I'm talking about. I actually met Martin on Xbox 360, and it turned out that we didn't actually live too far away from each other. And he's become a best friend of mine. He's always there when I need him. Even if it's just a quick WhatsApp chat or a quick phone call, he's there for me. And I really appreciate you, Martin. Now, since then, and since finding my way on YouTube into the Xbox community, which is really my passion, I play Xbox on a daily basis. I'll play Halo. I'll play anything. I'll go through the Game Pass, which is something I wouldn't have done a lot. There was a lot of games I wouldn't play, but thanks to Game Pass, I get to experience these games. But yeah, through making my YouTube channel and becoming a part of this community, I have met some amazingly wonderful people. And I would like to say thank you to those people. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Harry, Sean and Duncan from the Gamers Watch podcast for bringing me in to the Gamers Watch crew and making me a part of the Gamers Watch crew. These guys are big believers in who I am. Sometimes I wonder why they see that in me, because I feel like the content I do isn't very great. I guess it comes down to being everyone is their own worst critic. That saying, if that's right. And then I would like to say thank you to Wandering Dutch and everyone over at the Midweek Mix-Up podcast. All of you have been amazing to me. Like, the past few weekends, I've got to enjoy playing Halo Infinite Tech Test with a bunch of people in the Xbox community, mostly people from Midweek Mix-Up. And it's been a hell of a good time. And during this time, I was suffering with a spell of depression. And thanks to these people, I've really got to take my mind off of things and de-stress and just have a good time for a few hours of a night. Just shooting the shit on Xbox Live with a few people. Well, more than a few people. 12 people actually in an Xbox Live party. It can be overwhelming when there's that many people there, but it was just such a good time and all of us were having such a great laugh. I guess there's a point to this ramble, and that point is everyone goes through something at some point in their life. You may have just been going through something, you may be going through something now, or you may just about to be going through something. My point is, there are people that will be there for you. You might not know they're there. You might not even know these people yet. But eventually, you will meet some amazing people. And they will really hold you up. And that's what I've experienced over these last few years. Is I've made some amazing friends. Life is life. Yes, it's bad sometimes. Yes, it's good sometimes, and yes, there is some ugly moments, but you've just got to focus on those good times, with those good friends that you've made. And eventually, you'll find that little bit of happiness, and you need to focus on that happiness. But yeah, I don't know if really any of this made sense, or it just seems like a silly, rambling British idiot, but hopefully you get the point. Life isn't always bad. Everyone goes through something. And it does define you. But don't let it define you for the worse. Let it define you for the better. Focus on the good moments, because those moments will make you a good person. If you focus on the bad, it will break you. And that's just not worth it. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thanks again. And I apologise if it just seemed like pointless rambling into the ether, but sometimes I just want to get my thoughts out there, and I thought starting this channel would be the place to do it. So thank you. If you did enjoy this little ramble, please consider subscribing, hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell to be notified when another episode of Generally Speaking goes up. Could be anything. I could tell you a story from my past, tell you a story from recently, maybe just talk about a little bit about life. I don't know, maybe I watched a movie that I really, really liked or really, really hated, and I just wanted to blow off some steam by making a silly video on it over some Halo gameplay. And you can just maybe enjoy or not enjoy me talking absolute bullshit. Thank you for coming by. I'll see you next time.